Welcome to Top Leaders. I'm Lee O'Brien. In this day and age with new advancements in technology, public relations remains important as ever. And today's guest is an expert in that exact industry. Liana Zavo is a PR expert and practitioner, a media mogul, and an expert in defining personal brands for individuals and companies. She is the founder of ZavoMedia PR Group, a global PR group founded in New York, and she is a member of the Forbes Business Council. Liana, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, with your dedication and commitment to the PR industry, public relations, you've helped not only individuals, but big companies establish their presence online, but also become go-to experts in their niches. What motivates you to help these people with their PR?
Lee, being a publicist and a founder, I'm mostly driven by impact, making an impact in this world. And the way to do it is by engaging with these founders and organizations, by helping them become established industry leaders. And what that does for them is brings growth, right? I contribute to their growth and their success. And in return, it creates a ripple effect where they can serve their communities because they have this established authority. As well, I am so passionate about communication. PR is about effective communication, and by helping founders and organizations have compelling stories and tell their stories in a very authentic way, then I've done my job right. And building relationships, nurturing and building relationships, fostering relationships, what I do best is by connecting with these diverse backgrounds where I can find different challenges and how we can overcome them together, collaborate together as well, and find solutions, innovative solutions to these different challenges that we face together. So I feel that those three different aspects that I just mentioned definitely describe why I do what I do.
Got it. And being such a renowned expert, what do you think your advantage is in the industry that's allowed you to change the trajectory of so many companies?
We're a boutique PR firm, so situated in New York City. Started out with 25 employees. Now we're global. We have over 100 employees. They're freelancers, contractors, but being in 7 different countries gave me the basically foundation of treating every individual that I'm holding their hand. The same concept of how we started out this PR firm by holding their hand. It doesn't really matter, how big we go. It's about how do I connect with you and make sure that I can tell your story in the most compelling way to the audience, target your audience. How does your brand story stand out from the competitors, right? So for me, it doesn't matter how global I go. I make sure I hold your hand, and that's how I distinguish myself from others.
Got it. And as you mentioned, you're not only a public relations expert, you're also a publicist. You're also an online branding expert. With all these different angles that you've attacked and had success in, what are some PR myths that we can debunk?
Yeah, I love this. This topic definitely gives me a way to explain to my audience and to the future collaborations I will encounter that PR is not something that publicists can do on a whim. If you're looking for a story, I won't be able to get you a story right away in Forbes, for example. It takes strategy. There are PR campaigns that need to be created, newsworthy hooks. We have to make sure communication is correct with journalists. So everything does take time, but I do deliver every month. My deliverables are, I would say, mostly guaranteed, whether it be a podcast placement, TV placement. So I work with modern and traditional PR. And so another myth that I like to debunk is that PR is for large organizations. I don't have the funds for that. Well, you need to invest in your reputation. investing in your own reputation will actually make you succeed in the long run. Personal branding is an everlasting game, right? It's not something you can do one time. It's always perfecting it. So making sure that you find different ways to collaborate. Are you getting positive press coverage? Are you getting awards? What are you doing to stand out as the number one authority in your industry? And the last thing that I would like to debunk is that PR is only good for press releases and just product launches. It definitely is more than that. We bring awareness and brand recognition. There's so much that we do as publicists, making sure that your message is resonating with the audience, that you're staying on trend, and that you're building trust and credibility every time with your audience. That in itself is so important to stand out by establishing credibility, by being recognized, by being visible, and by always having positive press coverage.
Yeah, and Liana, you recently gave the keynote at the LA Business Show, where you spoke about how to have public relations plans, also deciphering and creating an online image and online reputation. But also, you brought in the keynotes and important information regarding AI and how that applies to public relations. If you're talking to a small business, what kind of recommendations would you have for them?
Absolutely. So the LA Business Show was incredible. I was the first speaker to open the stage. I would say the audience was engaging. I brought the energy to the business show, and to get into the AI aspect of what it can do to PR. It is about monitoring media analysis. It helps us with targeting your audience effectively. And so small businesses can benefit from this, where they can target their audience, making sure that the sentiments and everything is being tracked accordingly. And your visibility, your credibility, your online reputation is so crucial to propel everything forward, your business forward. How do you stand out from your competitors? If I Google you and I can't find one single thing about you and how you've been resonating, even throughout COVID, what have you done as an organization or even a personal brand to stand out? So when you have relevance, people will engage with you on an emotional level. People buy from other people on an emotional level. So first emotions kicking and then logic. So it is so important to create that emotional connection with your audience. And that is through, again, recognition, awards, perhaps industry expert endorsements that you can get. There's so many different ways to create your credibility. And that in itself would just create more visibility and profitability for your business.
That's great. And I'd like to also cite your recent article in Forbes. What are some strategies that people can take to put them in a position to be lucky?
You know, people always tell me, you're so lucky. How did you get this done in such a short amount of time? Well, nothing is an overnight success. What I've done is I've mapped it out for myself. I call it strategy, right? Strategy before planning. You can't plan if you don't have a strategy. So I consider myself lucky, and that's why I wrote this article, is because I want to give the insights of what makes me stand out, making sure that I'm always around people that actually add to my circle, mentors that will propel me forward, right? I have 4 different mentors in each different category, depending what I need, personal, business. You know, how I got to where I am today, it is not a secret. I am a college dropout. And so they always ask me, how did you get to this level of PR? Well, you need to find either companies you want to work with, find leverage. And so when you are surrounding yourself with people, when you have the right strategy, when you take opportunities, when the LA Business Show told me, hey, you know, we would love to have you speak. We're coming first time to the US. We're global. I said, of course, if it makes sense, you know, both of us it's a win-win for both of us. Let's do it. It has to be an opportunity that you need to take right away. And a lot of people procrastinate. They always want to make the moment perfect. And I always say it's not about perfection. You need to just go with it and then just perfect it as you go. And so I think those are some of the things that can benefit for, you know, people to become lucky.
Well, Liana, you've given us so much information today. If people want to get more information, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely reach out via Instagram. It's ZavoMedia PR, and LinkedIn is best as well. I always say LinkedIn is king. I have so many different ways of engaging with the audience there. So if you're not on LinkedIn, make an account and reach out to me there. It's Liana Zavo.
Well, Liana, thank you so much for taking your time and especially for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lee.